Production support for the weekly special is provided by IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. The Al Cobain Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobain to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you. The trees are full, the flowers are in bloom, so get out there and explore the best that spring in Indiana has to offer. Traverse the trails of the Chain O' Lakes State Park at Indiana's only 100-mile race. Hunt for treasures buried beneath the state's surface with Lapidist Merrill Hinshaw. Bask in the beauty of Cataract Falls, Indiana's largest waterfall by volume. And welcome Brown County's own Keenan Rainwater and his band to the studio. Discover new ways to enjoy Indiana's natural wonders off the beaten path. It's all coming up right now on the Weekly Special. Welcome to the Weekly Special. I'm Erica Sagone. With the warming weather and lush landscapes, Hoosiers are looking for ways to enjoy the outdoors. And for many in the state, the season kicks off with the Indy 500. But that isn't Indiana's only famed race to attract international visitors. The Weekly Special headed north to the Chain O' Lakes State Park to show you the road, or rather the trail, less traveled. Enjoy the sights and sounds of the only 100-mile race in Indiana.
On your mark, get set, go.
We just match our short.
It helps our mood. You know, we know you're going to be out there for very long. You got to look cute.
Water? Trail with inside. This is water. Yeah, that's good. It's just very little. There you go. That's good. Thank you. Let's go! Water? How you doing here? Water? Good work, runners. Good work. Keep it up. Look defeated.
We got the Indiana Trail 100 today. So we have 3 races. We have the 50-mile race, the 100K, which is 62 miles, and then the 100-mile race. They're doing 20-mile loops out here at Chain O' Lakes State Park. This is the 5th year now, so we're celebrating 5 years this year.
Thanks for being out here.
The trails are in excellent condition right now. We put a lot of work into them. Everything looks really good. Obviously, we had some rain overnight, and we're expecting some big storms to be coming through later today. So
we're at Rally Station. This is the aid station about the 12-mile point. We're just here to provide food, refreshments, and whatever else. There's a drop bag station here, so runners will have their shoes, extra clothes, whatever they may need. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully the weather will stay fine, so they won't need dry clothes. But we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Thanks, Nice job, Tom. You got it. All right.
Yeah, it's early, so they'll start looking good, and then throughout the day, we'll see who's strong and who's having problems.
This event is the only 100-miler in the state of Indiana, and as you can see, the weather is a little sketchy right now, but they're enjoying it, at least now, until it starts to rain.
That's what I thought. Okay. He said then it's going to open up.
These people are wired differently, and you know, they're just extra motivated people, and a lot of professional people just looking for that challenge, just something that you know, they can look forward to day after day, and this is just something that drives them. It's a very small segment of society that's out here, but all the crazy people get together and just have a special day. The dynamics of a 100-mile event, it's almost like it's a team sport where you're not competing against one another. You're kind of helping one another cross the finish line, and that's pretty. It's a pretty special type of bond that you create. You'll create lifelong friends that you didn't know 10 hours ago, and that's a real cool dynamic. You have the game within the game, where a handful of people are racing against each other, but mostly it's just people trying to get to the finish line.
For more information on the race or to learn how to sign up for next year, visit indianatrail100.com. Well, throughout the piece, we heard from volunteer coordinator Steve Carr, volunteer Chris Bainel, and race director Mike Pfefferkorn. They also told us that although there was concern throughout the event about storms, officials never stopped the race. So congratulations to all of this year's runners for toughing it out. Well, our next subject takes a much slower approach to exploring the trails, stalking the wilderness for nature's buried treasures.
When I have a pile of rock that I know is going to yield me some beautiful jewelry, I am as proud as anybody of that as you can get.
Meryl Hinshaw is a lapidist, a member of a tiny group of international collectors, cutters, and polishers of stones and precious gems. For more than 50 years, Meryl has spent the majority of his days with his nose to the ground, digging up, cutting, and polishing stones, and then setting them into ornate silver necklaces, rings, and other pieces of homemade jewelry, as well as larger pieces that can be used as decorative works on bookshelves, cabinets, and gardens.
You pick up this rock and you carry it home, and when you cut it open, you're either the happiest guy in the world or the most disappointed you ever could be. That's the fun part.
Meryl founded Hinshaw Rock and Gems, a small family-run business, 56 years ago. To call Meryl a rock collector does not even begin to describe his commitment and passion for his craft. On his property are rusted barrels, stacked 3 high and 20 rows deep, which hold approximately 150 tons of raw stones, all awaiting to be cracked open in hopes of finding treasures that might lie within.
Texas, Montana, Nevada, there's no state that you can't find something that you can turn into a piece of jewelry that will last.
Hinshaw Rock and Gems is truly a family affair. Each year, for nearly 60 years, Meryl and his wife Janice would pack up the kids and tour through a large swath of North America on one rock hunting trip after another.
I've been past the Grand Canyon, I've been past Disney World, I've been past, all of these places, but we never stopped to see them. We always went to some place where we could hunt rocks.
This often meant that the Hinshaw family would take day-long, 10-mile hikes through the mountains, or float along in a canoe down the Yellowstone River for more than 200 miles. Their trips were rugged, but the Hinshaws believed that these experiences helped bring the family closer.
We always had a good time with it, and we learned a lot, and we met a lot of really, really interesting people.
When Meryl first started, he took a class called Rocks for Fun at Earlham College in Richmond, Indiana, and he made an initial investment of $150 to buy a rock cutter and a grinder to help him carve and polish the stones. It proved to be a solid investment. Other than changing the oil and belts occasionally, Meryl still uses that same cutter and grinder that he purchased more than half a century ago.
Meryl became so good at looking at a piece of rock and deciding, yeah, we're going to take this one home, or no, this one's going to stay here. Because his field work was just amazing.
After cutting and polishing the stones into specified shapes and sizes, Merrill then works as a silversmith, crafting intricate designs to hold and display the shiny, delicate stones. It's this type of attention to detail that has earned Merrill great recognition from all over the world. He has appraised the agate collection at Harvard University. Some of his works are on display at the Smithsonian Museum. Nationally renowned geologists and museum directors have his number on speed dial.
I don't care what it is. If it's something I've never seen before, it gives me a burst of energy. The adrenaline is like playing a basketball game. You got one more point to go and you make it. The adrenaline is unbelievable. Same way with hunting a decent rock.
Merrill's Place is located only a couple miles from the French Lick Resort, but it's a ways off the beaten path. For expert directions, go to their website, HenshawRockandGems.com. Well, our next Indiana wonder doesn't take an expert to find. By volume, Owen County's Cataract Falls are the largest waterfalls in the state.
Strolling along Mill Creek, the serene silence gives way to a rumbling roar as the gentle creek transforms into one of Indiana's most beautiful wonders, Cataract Falls. As the creek rolls down a seemingly endless ride of cascades through the upper and lower falls, it descends 86 feet in elevation, making Cataract Falls the largest waterfall in Indiana by volume. The plentiful wildlife of the creek and surrounding areas made Cataract Falls a prime location for the state's earliest timber mills. By the late 1800s, however, the industry faded and the historic landscape became a refuge of beauty and recreation. For almost 100 years, the area remained privately owned. But by the 1960s, the United States government made concerted efforts to purchase the falls and surrounding area. The construction of Kegel's Mill Dam, as well as its accompanying reservoir, further ensured Cataract Falls protection. Today, this incredible Indiana wonder is located within the Lieber State Recreation Area, preserving its beauty for generations to come.
With the recent spring storms, the falls are in full display. Learn how you can visit this natural wonder at cataractfalls.com. And when you're there, don't miss your opportunity to visit the Cataract Falls Covered Bridge. Originally opened in 1876, the bridge was recently restored by the DNR and opened as a pedestrian walkway. And speaking of celebrated bridges, the small town of Kouts, located in northern Indiana, is known for its one-of-a-kind bridge. Jessica Noonemaker is here to tell us more.
Is it an old Ferris wheel turned bridge? That's what locals seem to think. when 33-year-old George W.G. Ferris dreamed up his Ferris wheel for the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, his 250-foot tall structure was going to be a showstopper. And it was. But all good things must come to an end. So too did his Ferris wheel. Torn down, the pieces of scrap were said to be purchased by Couts farmer Isaac Dunn, and he used the steel for his bridge, now known as Dunn's Bridge. Others say it was part of a roof from the Indiana House and not from the Ferris wheel. Restored in 2003, Dunn's Bridge is a part of the local lore and an eye-catcher. If you're looking to be a part of the local scene and listen to town gossip mixed in with cross-table chit-chat, George's Coffee Cup is it. Try the Reuben sandwich and enjoy the potato soup. Locals heartily recommend the gyro melt. Get a load of those original tin ceilings. Beautiful. Snack time? Seasonally open, Piggies and Cream sits in the old Couts train depot. Just take a look at the ice cream. Would you believe that every bit of it is homemade? The flavors may change, but it is always delicious. I recommend the chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich. It's colossal, but oh so good. Kids will love the big sandbox to play in when weather permits. Speaking of weather permits, one of my all-time favorite festivals so far is also one of the lesser known. Although I do enjoy the lack of lines, I enjoy sharing more. I love my Indiana history, and the Aukiki Festival is full of it. Held to snag funding for the Collier Lodge, this long-ago hunting lodge and unique piece of history is in danger of absolute deterioration. Unlike most festivals that cover a particular span of time, the Aukiki Festival covers 350 years of Hoosier history. It offers an incredibly diverse range of artisans, reenactors, and events. From Native Americans to French voyagers to the Civil War, it's a wonderful look back in time. Couts, Indiana is a bit of history and a lot of fun. Find more Couts fun at www.littleindiana.com. Small towns, destinations, not drive-thrus. I'm Jessica Nunemaker, and this is Little Indiana.
The Aukiki River Festival is coming up this summer. Find out more information at Kankakee Valley Historical Society.org. And be sure to visit our website. We will be reposting our fabulous story about the ongoing Kankakee River restoration efforts taking place right outside of Couts. Well, our next musical guest was born and raised in the beautiful hills of Brown County, and we're excited to have him here. Meet Keenan Rainwater.
As a child, when I was listening to music in my room, it didn't matter if it was on a boombox or on a more professional grade stereo system. Music was enough to captivate me. It was 2011. I was working in a hardwood flooring shop. I hated life at the time. I was married unhappily and working by the hour in a manufacturing environment. So I started writing more songs and started performing them with the Indiana Boys. In 2012, we cut our first albums, but ever since then I've been writing more or less each year, evolving from a string band to where we are now in Rainwater as a full-on electric rock and roll band. I would describe Rainwater musically as an eclectic blend of all of our tastes as members. The members of Rainwater: Derek Day plays the upright bass, Nolan Eastwood plays the drums, Richard Gist, also of the Indiana Boys. He's come in as an electric guitar player, and he also plays the mandolin for us. Alan Long works with us as a guest musician, 4 solid members and 1 great guest musician making up Rainwater. Over hundreds of gigs playing with these guys and seeing that things work out when you got the right people behind you. I write songs because of personal experiences, and sometimes in a therapeutic way. If you have a very strong emotion, people release that emotion in different ways. And my way that's been the most effective is to put it into a song. There's the old saying, 3 chords and the truth, but the truth has to be there. So the song has to be something I care about and feel is real. I want to create a show, and I want to create the type of environment that I would want to go hang out in. I'm in the hospitality industry as a musician, so I want to create an environment where people can come and enjoy themselves, and I hope to create a culture of music lovers that come out to these shows. So it's not just about coming and see us play our music, it's about coming out and enjoying people's company and meeting new people and then hopefully getting exposed to new awesome music that they haven't heard before. Music is an emotional experience. Hard to have the full spectrum of emotions unless you have more of a full spectrum of sounds. You don't want to be thinking about what the song sounds like, you want to be feeling what the song is doing for you. Sometimes while I'm playing music, I'm thinking about the bigger picture of what does this mean? What does a person think about when they wake up, and what does a person think about while they're daydreaming? What do you think about when you're laying in bed at night? All I know is that the thing that motivates me the most is making the product better, making the music better, and it has created inspiration for self-improvement. Relationships are nothing if not motivational for making yourself better. Music makes me want to be a better man. I feel like if I make better music, I'll end up being a better person in a roundabout way.
And now, Rainwater.
That girl is the needle in my arm and the monkey on my back. I said, oh, nothing I can do. Looks like somebody put a spell on you. I said, ooh, nothing I can say was ever gonna change your mind anyway. Surrender me. You can beat me down, treat me like a pet, but your dog will never be. I appreciate your partnership in this miracle of life, but there's many slips, which cover the lip before I take another wife. I said, oh, nothing I can do. Looks like somebody put a spell on you. I said, ooh, nothing I can say is ever gonna change your mind anyway.
For information about his latest music releases or upcoming performances, visit KeenanRainwater.com. Well, that's all the time that we have for tonight. Whether you are visiting your local community park or embarking on a lesser-known adventure, have fun exploring Indiana. Thanks for joining us, and once more, Rainwater.
This ain't no shovel in my hand. No, I don't care much for digging. Ain't got no shovel in my hand. Now I dig rocks when they're rolling, rocking and rolling till the end. And now I spend a little time on the mountain, but I spend more in the hills. Yeah, I spend a little time on the mountain, well, I spend more in these hills. If that mountain don't get us, then I never will.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. The Al Cobain Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobain to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you.